Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Brown, Associate Publisher of Auto Rental News and Chair of the International Car Rental Show, which is taking place April 15th through 17th at Horseshoe, Las Vegas. I'd like to give a shout out to First Source Bank for sponsoring the opening keynote. We're doing something a little bit different and special for this year's opening keynote. And with that, I've asked our keynote presenter, Michelle Mace Curran, to join us today to explain what to expect. On behalf of Auto Rental News and attendees to the Car Rental Show, welcome. We're excited to have you delivering the opening keynote.
Thank you. I am excited to attend ICRS and get in front of everyone. And I do live here in Vegas, so nice short commute for me. And I've checked the weather. It's beautiful and sunny today, and I'm sure it will be in April as well.
Great. So tell us briefly what your background is and what you do now.
Yeah, absolutely. There's probably a few hints in the background, but I've spent about 13 years on active duty in the Air Force, flying the F-16 as a fighter pilot. And then the last 3 of those years, I was a solo pilot for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, which some of the viewers may have seen at different air shows across the country, but they're the Air Force's premier aerial demonstration squadron. We would fly all over the country and the world. And our big mission was to recruit and to inspire. And so I got to do that for 3 years. And now I am a keynote speaker and an author, hopefully continue to inspire just in a different way.
So at ICRS, you're going to be in front of an audience of car rental operators. How does that background and what you learned in the cockpit apply to running a car rental business?
Yeah, so at face value, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of parallels, but if you start to dig into it, there definitely are. So I know the car rental industry has really been at the end of the whip with the market coming out of COVID. There's been a lot of uncertainty the last few years. A lot of people have faced unexpected challenges and changes, and I can't think of a more fast-paced environment where things that are unexpected can happen and where things can change quickly than the cockpit of a fighter aircraft. And so what I'm hoping to bring to the audience is to really encourage them to be bold, to keep moving forward, even when they're afraid, even when things feel uncertain. And I have some personal anecdotes that will really demonstrate the rewards that come with doing that. But I hope that everyone finds the speech empowering, and it really encourages them to go back to their teams and really bring this culture where we keep moving forward, where we have more resilience, and where we do that even when it doesn't necessarily feel like the easiest thing to do.
Sure. Well, the Thunderbirds, I mean, that's an extreme example of trust in a high-performing team. What's the key to creating that for car rental business?
Yeah, I can't think of a more appropriate example of trust than flying 3 feet from someone at 500 miles an hour while you're pointed at the ground. So the Thunderbirds are just an extreme example. Hopefully, most people in the audience aren't experiencing that day in, day out. But any high-performing team, you need that foundation of trust. And I think the Thunderbirds do it by the first thing is that there's a common mission that everyone really understands, they're invested in, and specifically they understand their role and how it contributes to achieving the mission. That's the basics. But then I think the big thing that really allows that trust to grow is creating this culture of feedback and accountability and ownership of mistakes. And so in every fighter squadron, and the Thunderbirds being no different, after every single flight, we would go into a room, close the door, and we would debrief. And in that debrief, every single pilot at that table was fessing up to their mistakes, explaining what happened. And that didn't matter what their position or their title was, or if they'd been on the team for 1 year or 3 years. It was just expected that you would own your mistakes. And when you create that culture over time, it kind of takes away that tendency that we naturally have to hide mistakes. And it takes away that fear we have of shame around them. And it creates that psychological safety where people feel more fulfilled. They feel willing to just be open about things. And when you're open, you can see what the issue is. You can fix it and do better next time. The organization and the team just get better very quickly. And so it's really a key to trust and a key to high performance.
Wow, this is great. I really appreciate all this insight, which is going to be brought to the stage in April. But last question, what made you walk away from what many would consider a dream job to do what you do now?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot. I think people have seen Top Gun and they have this idea of what being a fighter pilot is like. We're pulling 9Gs on a regular basis. That means 9 times the force of gravity. That does start to wear on your body over time. So that did start to be a factor. But for me, the biggest thing is that I really found this new passion for inspiring people while I was flying for the Thunderbirds. That's part of the team's mission. And I wanted to find a way to continue to do that. And going into speaking, getting in front of hundreds or thousands of people and writing books has been just kind of a natural way to continue to do that. And it's been so rewarding to see it happening on people's faces real time, to hear about their stories, and then even to have them follow up months later and share the changes that they've implemented in their lives after hearing me speak and how it's changed their life for the better. And I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing right now. I absolutely love what I'm doing. And so that's why I made the move.
Well, that's awesome. And we look forward to that inspiration in your keynote in Las Vegas on April 16th. Mace, thanks again.
Absolutely. We'll see you in Vegas.